Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about a very interesting video, and that is what Pokemon should be in the next Smash game. The reason this is interesting is because for Pokemon to be such a big part of Nintendo's success, Game Freak bringing about Pokemon, and they just released that they're going to make another RPG. I mean, that's something else, but for them to be such a big part of Nintendo's success, they really don't have that many characters actually in Smash. And on top of that, we don't know as of right now. There's a lot of speculation whether or not there'll be more characters in Smash. A lot of people have been saying Spyro, Crash, stuff like that. Even Sans from Undertale. And we don't really know exactly what's going to be in the next one, but we do know about a lot of characters that will. We know all the older characters will be coming back, and these are just 10 characters that should be in the next Smash, in my opinion, of course. The first one I'm going to say is Decidueye. He's the most popular. I mean, any one of the three starters could be it. Primarina doesn't really make sense as a fighter. I mean, she's more of a mermaid. I don't see how they could really incorporate her as a Smash character. But since if you're just pushing the current gen, it would make sense if you put either Decidueye, because he's one of the most popular, and he could be a cool, tactical player with, the arrows and stuff like that. And he's, like I said, he's, a fan favorite. He could be a projectile character with the ghost arrows, and then some even physical claw or even wing moves. And Incineroar, like I said, he could be one too, because he's more of a wrestling cat Pokemon. So he could be a big bruiser, slow, low tier, physical Pokemon that could be in Smash. But Decidueye I think would be more interesting, so that's why I'm picking Decidueye as one of the three characters from this generation as starters that could be in it. The next Pokemon is Lycanroc, the Night form. Once again, the Dusk form, yeah, Ash has the Dusk form. The regular form is pretty cool, but I think the Night form specifically would make the most sense because it's a two-legged Pokemon that could have a varied moveset, mostly physical. It has weird stats in the game with high defense and whatever, and it's pretty slow. I would assume it could be something similar to a Shadow the Hedgehog kind of character, where it has a special attack move, a special smash where it slows down or makes everything really dark, and then he claws the screen as some sort of physical move. He could have a lot of moves like Wolf with the physical claw moves. I mean, it's kind of like a wolf. It's a dog-like Pokemon, and I think that'd be a really cool one because Lycanroc's a very cool Pokemon from this generation as well. The next Pokemon is one that I think they missed out on in the previous Smash game, because there was no real Smash in the period in between Wii U and Brawl. There was Pokemon Black and White came out, the Unova region, and a really big Pokemon, because obviously Lucario came out in Brawl and people really liked it. It was a fan favorite. They made a movie for it. Another movie that they made was for the Pokemon Zoroark. He should have came out earlier, like I said, in the Wii U one, but it was a little too late. But he could be a mixed attacker like Lucario. He doesn't have the whole aura thing going for him where he gets stronger when he gets more damage, but he could have something with his whole thing where he changes ability, or even a final smash with a meter to change his ability, like Cloud, or final smash to change his ability, or he initially, when somebody picks him. I don't know how that would work, because obviously if you're playing with a bunch of friends, they could tell who you're picking, but I know they, like I said, the aura for Lucario made sense, so the changing of his appearance Zoroark would make sense as his either special smash or something or some meter to charge up, change his ability. The next Pokemon is Necrozma. Necrozma is a really cool Pokemon. People really like them in Sun and Moon. Ultra Sun and Moon, he has a bigger, he's a little bigger as part of the plot, I'm sorry. And it might be a little late because, the Alolan region is kind of over, like I said. But they don't want to miss out like they did with the Unova region with Zoroark. But like I said, the Unova region, not the Unova, I'm sorry, the Alolan region is kind of over. But honestly, he would be really cool because it's you could make him a physical Pokemon. You could make him similar to Mewtwo. You could even have a final smash depending on what skin you chose at the beginning, and to either determine if it's Solgaleo and Lunala. I just think this would be a real cool one. I don't have a lot going for it, and that's probably why they haven't made it, but I know it would be cool because people love the Pokemon, and it's just a strong Pokemon. The next Pokemon is Buzzwole. I think this one should really be in the next Smash one. This one I'm wholeheartedly supporting because everybody loves Buzzwole. I mean, he's an uber Pokemon in the game, but it's one of those, like, he's just a legend. He's just a beast, and he's very strong physically. He's pretty slow, but he's built like a fighter. I mean, everybody compares him to Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I think he could be like, I want to say like between a Captain Falcon and a Ganondorf, because Captain Falcon's a slow version of Ganondorf, but Buzzwole's he's a very strong Pokemon. So you could either make him as strong as someone like Ganondorf, or a little faster like someone like Captain Falcon. So I'm saying in between would make the most sense. But this would be a really cool Pokemon. I think a lot of people would use him, and a lot of people already like him, but you can't really use him in competitive battle because he's uber, but it would make sense if you can use him in Smash. The next Pokemon would maybe be another Kanto Pokemon, which is Machamp, which is, I'm just going to say this is extremely similar to that of Buzzwole, and we already get to see him in Pokken Tournament. And he's another physically strong, slow Pokemon, and I don't think he would be like, I think he would be like Buzzwole in the fact that he's physically strong, but I think he would be a lower tier. I think he'd be more like a Donkey Kong or Bowser. He'd be maybe weaker or as strong as someone like Ganondorf and very slow, but he would have the whole thing with the whole 4 arms being more unique than someone as Ganondorf. Like I said, as strong and slow as someone like Ganondorf, or maybe a little weaker because he has a 4-arm thing going for him, but he would be very strong at 4 arms. It would be his speciality. The next Pokemon I would say is from Sinnoh, because there's rumored to be a Sinnoh remake coming out soon, because we've gotten remakes of the Hoenn region, the Kanto region, and we've gotten remakes of not Kanto, what's after Kanto? The Johto region. I'm sorry about that, guy. And it would just make sense that Sinnoh's next. It's been, I think, over 10 years now. So I think a fan favorite from that game that was really good, a pseudo legendary. He's in Pokken Tournament. He could be a physically balanced character with good speed. He has a prominent tail, which could be used as a smash move, and he can be used as a heavy Pokemon, a balanced Pokemon, just a strong physical Pokemon, a fast Pokemon. I'm repeating a lot, but Garchomp. Everybody loved Garchomp. He was Uber at one point. He was one of the best non-legendary Uber Pokemon at the time. He was, I think, the first Pokemon to ever be brought into the Uber category. Him and Wobbuffet and Wynaut were the first Pokemons that weren't. And then later Salamence were the only Pokemon that weren't like legendaries that were brought into Uber. And he was really good. Everybody loved him. He's cool in the show. He's fast in the show. He had a strong tail, dragon tail, and he could be a really cool one if they're trying to sell, the next Sinnoh remake. The next Pokemon, which is just an interesting Pokemon, once again could go with the whole Sinnoh remake thing, is Gallade. He's an interesting choice, as he could be a mixture of physical and projectile moves, because he's a psychic fighting Pokemon, and he could have he could either have a down B, like in the older games, you could turn into Sheik with pressing down B to turn into Gardevoir, and then Gallade could be the one that is a physical, while Gardevoir could be the projectile, or it could just be Gallade and then as a physical, and then the Echo Fighter would be that of Gardevoir. And this would once again make sense for the whole that everybody loves Gardevoir, that they have a thing going for her. And then, like I said, Gallade is from Sinnoh, and this would just be an interesting 2 Pokemon, and then this would be interesting 2 Pokemon to enter and then show the whole Echo fighting thing going, and once again go along with the Sinnoh remake. The next Pokemon is Deoxys. Deoxys would be a good choice because he's similar to that of like a Shulk kind of character, but I think it would be cooler because it'd be more locked in. Like with Shulk's case, you could, in the middle of the game, you could have the speed, the defensive, the balanced, the attacker. You can choose throughout which one you want to be for, I think, a limited amount of time. But with Deoxys, it'd be cooler because there's a speed form, an attack form, a balance form, defense form. You could pick skins at the beginning, while pressing Y, and you would go like speed form, and you would have like real high speed and some attack and low defenses or something. And then you'd have the all-around form, which would have everything, but he would never like stand out. The defensive form, he'd probably be slow and low in attack, but he'd have like really strong resistance. And I think that would just be a cool gimmick to put into the game. The last Pokemon on this list he's a fan favorite. He's a starter Pokemon, and he's gotten really good. And I know in the mods you can play as him using Captain Falcon, and that's Blaziken. He would have a lot of speed, he would have a lot of attack, he would have like the strong kicking moves. You could mix it, you could have him be a mixed attacker, with fire moves. But like I said, he'd be better as a physical, like with the Blaze Kick and all that. You can even have him use some sort of meter, because you know how he has speed boost in the game. There might be some sort of meter where he starts off pretty slow and he just keeps getting faster. You know, he starts off really strong, but he gets faster over time before he dies, and or even through getting hurt or charging it up. I think that would kind of, I think charging it up would be better, or just the longer you stay alive, the faster you get, no matter what your percentage was. Because if you just do the whole thing with the more he gets hurt, it would be very similar to Lucario. And Lucario, like, it was very similar to the game where his aura propelled him, and in this case, it would be similar to in the game, because he would get a speed boost just being alive longest, and you would probably make him a lot weaker defensively, or give him a really bad up B, like you do with Cloud, to make sure that he's not too broken. Because if you give him a good up B, he'd just be, like I said, he'd have a good recovery. I'm saying like in between a Cloud or a Little Mac kind of player, but you don't want him as bad as Little Mac. And he has the whole speed boost thing, so I think it'll help him a lot more. So he'll be strong, he'll get a speed boost over time. But like I said, not like that of Lucario, where he just gets stronger with a high percentage, and not that of Cloud, where you just charge it. It's just the longer you stay alive. So you could have 0% and be alive for 5 minutes, but you'll be really fast. Or you could have 20%, but it doesn't affect it. And those are the 10 Pokemon I chose. I really hope that they're in the next game. And thanks for watching, guys.